Hey, Scott Lair of thecruisegenius.com. This video brought to you by GigSky. If you're concerned about a high cell phone bill when you go on a cruise or travel overseas, gigsky.com. Check them out. Check out all their plans, all the details, and then email me, slair1961@gmail.com. I will give you a super secret link and promo code for 10% off your GigSky data plan. All right, so let's talk about hurricane season. And today is Friday, August 30th, 2024. And the news is blowing up. We got two disturbances that are hanging out there heading toward us. And for those of us that cruise, I don't know about you, this is something I do really keep an eye on, the storms that are coming across. One, for the clients that I have, just to let them know. And number two, if I'm gonna cruise, or my wife and I, or my grandkids and I are gonna cruise, I just like to know what the weather is, right? I always pack my Pepto-Bismol, I always pack my Imodium AD, I always pack my hand sanitizer, but being a Navy veteran, this is just something I like to know the weather. I like to prepare for what's going on. Now, a lot of people say, Scott, just go with the flow, it'll be okay. I'm okay, I'm not worried. I just like to know what's going on. So I was just watching weather.com, and it's so frustrating. These guys don't know. It's too far out. The sand in the Sahara, the upper, the lower, they have no clue. They're guessing. They're looking at the high, they're looking at the low, they're looking at the troughs, and they're doing the best they can, I guess, to let us know. But, it's kind of interesting, this Dr. Greg guy on the Weather Channel. It's too, okay, great. So let's talk about some things that the Weather Channel people and maybe your local meteorologist talks about. The Leeward Islands. It's coming toward the Leeward Islands. Well, the Leeward Islands include the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Martin, St. Bart's, St. Kitts, and Antigua. So those are the Leeward Islands. And you hear this referred to quite a bit. And, the guys on weather.com think that we all know this. Many of us don't. And so I just want to share that with you. Then the other term they use are the Windward Islands. The Windward Islands, that's St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Grenada. Now, I've been to all of these islands. I think I've been to every Caribbean island there is: Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Martinique, St. Barts, St. Kitts, St. Thomas, been to Puerto Rico, been to Bimini, been to all of them in my career of cruising. Not just in my Navy days, but cruising with Holland America Line, cruising with NCL, cruising with MSC, cruising with Carnival, cruising with Celebrity. So I just want to give you those two terms, the Leeward Islands and the Windward Islands. So now you're a little more educated when you're watching weather.com when they're talking about these islands. Now, listen, I'm not a meteorologist, but it is just so frustrating to me, to hear the folks on there, we don't know. Okay, all right, great, you don't know. And I'm very glad that they do give us a heads up as much as possible so that we do know. I mean, can you imagine living in St. Bart's or St. Kitts and, okay, listen, it's not the same as living in here in the States, right? It's a totally different culture. It's a totally different building codes, all that kind of stuff. And they're not going to have the secure homes that we have here. And these small islands, it's not like the United States. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Let's talk about Puerto Rico, right? When the hurricanes have hit Puerto Rico, I mean, they were out of power for weeks, if not months. Their ATMs were down. They didn't have food. And so that was a very difficult situation for Puerto Rico. And the neighbors across the street from me here in Jacksonville are from Puerto Rico. And I have close friends that are from Puerto Rico also, so they got a special place in my heart. But when you live in St. Thomas or St. John or Puerto Rico, yeah, these storms coming over, off the coast of Africa, they're serious, and they can cause bodily injury, they can cause death, destruction, they can knock out the grid. There's a lot of things they can do. And these small islands, I think, really depend a lot on tourism for their economy. And so if a storm comes, like St. Martin, it was St. Thomas. Several years ago, a hurricane blew through St. Thomas. And several months after that, my wife and I went to Magens Bay, and they were still recovering. I mean, there's still trees down, there's still crews cleaning up, and that's St. Thomas, which is, on a scale of 1 to 10 and 11. I mean, they're pretty industrialized. It's not like a small island, that like maybe St. Kitts or St. Bart's, it's a smaller island that maybe would take more time and resources to get them back to speed. But at St. Thomas, they were cleaning up Magens Bay and cleaning up, and the cruise ports were open. So in conclusion, I just want to talk about the Leeward and the Windward Islands. I do encourage you, if you're gonna be going on a cruise in the next week or two, or even in the next month, don't stress about it. Don't stress about it like I do. Just keep an eye on weather.com, or keep an eye, National Hurricane Center, and the frustrating thing, 20% chance in 7 days, 40% chance in 7 days. It just seems so like they don't know. But you got to give it to Jim Cantore and all those other folks at the Weather Channel standing out there. They got their boots on, and the stop sign is blowing around, and they're getting blown down the street. Hats off to the Weather Channel. I think they do an amazing job. They got all these meteorologists and all these, that guy Wolf and Jim. And of course, when you see Jim Cantore come into your town, you want to run. But they do a great job. Thank you, Weather Channel. Appreciate you. Just try to be a little more specific. Just try to let us know what's going on so that those of us that cruise can be prepared. Scott Laird, thecruisegenius.com. Like and subscribe. Have a great holiday weekend.